What is up, nerds? Welcome back. It's been a while. The PP Pod is back. Mama PP and Papa PP finally reunited. And it is episode 66. Justin.
Wow.
I almost shed a tear, man. I missed you.
Welcome back.
How you been?
Welcome back to me. Been good. For those who weren't following, we didn't have a podcast for the past 2 weeks because I was in China for 12 days doing some work stuff. And just got back, like 36 hours ago. I don't know. It's a weird time being here right now.
Could be 36 hours. Could have been 4 days. Who knows?
Who knows, bro?
Yeah.
On the travel back, we left on the morning. Like we left at 4 a.m. on Sunday the 1st to go to the airport. And then 30 hours later, I got to my house. I pulled in the driveway at like 8:30 p.m. on Sunday the 1st. So I'm a time traveler now.
Yeah, dude.
It's weird.
Yeah, that is
and
truly
I'm all off,
insane.
dude. I woke up at 4 a.m. today. Couldn't go back to sleep. So a little bit of jet lag action going on.
Well, where in China were you specifically? Shenzhen?
Yeah, Shenzhen, as the locals would say. Only white people say Zen, so you better get that straight. Shenzhen, bro.
Shenzhen, might be. Gosh,
Yeah,
I didn't know you were a learned man.
Well, we went around to a few places. You want me to recap?
Yeah, give us a little recap, dude. Let's hear about it.
Okay.
We want to know.
So I went with Brian, the owner of Valere. One of my clients, as you guys know. Everyone, keyboard warriors, get ready to call me Shill in the comments. We went to work on the R&D for the next Valere paddle. And so we were in the Guangdong province. So we went to a couple places there. We spent some time in Shenzhen. We spent some time in Dongguan. And then we also went over to Hong Kong for like a day and a half. That part wasn't necessarily for work. That was like more for fun. Shout out Stack Pickleball in Hong Kong. If for some reason you live in Hong Kong and you've never been there, which I feel like is probably not the case, but definitely go. It's an amazing facility, indoor facility. There aren't many facilities in Hong Kong, and there are very few indoor ones, but it's awesome. So like a huge shout out to the Stacked family, Simon, Phoebe, Jeff, Phil. They treated us awesome. They like took us to get great food, and then we played pickleball, and then they have like this kind of like league situation where themselves and all the other facilities around Hong Kong like put together teams, MLP style, and they have like weekly matches at the different facilities, right? There's like a home team and an away team. We happened to be there for one of those days, and so we got to watch that, and it was so cool. And like the scene for pickleball is like growing really fast in both in Hong Kong and China.
Yeah.
Just cool to see. It just feels like it felt like fresher than what we're used to here. And yeah, it was really cool. And like I said, they just treated us super nice, and it was great. But for most of the trip, we were working at multiple different factories on R&D and just a few other things. And we also went to a backpack factory.
Ooh.
And this was really fun for me.
Yeah.
We basically designed a backpack sample from the ground up, like in one day.
Dang.
All
so kind of like
the
what we did at
preferences.
Selkirk with the paddle.
Yeah, but way more
way
involved
more
than just a
detailed.
backpack.
Yeah, way more detailed. Yeah. That's
so
cool.
basically picking from different samples, and then also I was like, there's a bit of a language barrier. They spoke some English, but I'm like drawing stuff. And then we did that, and then we got to come back 4 days later and literally pick up the sample that we designed.
Dang.
So it's like it's a real backpack now. I have it back here. I won't show you though. But that's the first sample, and there'll be some iterations, but that could be a future product, which is like super cool. That's fun for me because I like bags.
Yeah.
I can't talk too much about what we did in the factories, of course, because it's like proprietary information. But yeah, just working on some stuff, having fun, played pickleball, ate all kinds of food. Honestly, a bit disappointed in the food.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. When you travel, it's like always a big thing. Like, ooh, what's the food going to be like here? Now, don't get me wrong. We had some good meals, but there were a lot of misses too. And overall, at least in that area of China, not spicy, not that flavorful. There was a lot of really bland food. We're like,
what?
Yeah, I know. So,
dude, Chinese food usually is like the most flavorful food.
I know, right?
All the Asian
but China's huge though. And there are different provinces that have different foods. Like we weren't in like Sichuan or anything where the food is spicy.
Yeah.
Now the food in Hong Kong, it hit. I mean, maybe it's
Yeah.
because we had the guides taking us to all the good places, but the food in Hong Kong was like, it's far more international. Hong Kong is, and the food was really good there. So
Yeah.
and yeah, it was crazy, man. And then just the travel, wow, it is like 30 hours total one way when you count like the layovers and everything. So, whew, it's tough. And
You ain't
my
ever gonna
goal,
catch me in China after that, bro. No
No.
chance. I'm not
I
flying
literally
for
was
30
on the
hours.
flight. Yeah, I was on the flight thinking Lewis would hate this. I've
Yeah.
flown with you before.
Yeah.
And if it gets even slightly bumpy, Lewis is white knuckling.
Yeah.
The one time we were on the flight together, it was like kind of some turbulence, just like turbulence. I looked over and he was looking down, eyes closed, breathing hard, grabbing both of the armrests as hard as he can, like literally white knuckling. I was like, poor guy.
I have an
tapped him on the
irrational
shoulder. I was
fear
like, it's all right, bro.
of flying. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like I know it's so just goofy and has no real rhyme or reason behind it, but it's just one of those things, man. Always gets me. I've hated it since I was a kid. I don't know what it is.
That sucks. Yeah.
Never like
Hey,
a
man,
bad experience or anything, which is weird.
the thing is, anxiety is real, and the reason that you feel anxious doesn't have to be real.
Yeah.
But still, the anxiety is real, like the experience, and that goes for
Well,
flying or anything else people feel anxious about. So, I would feel empathetic for you in that situation. But
Yeah,
to
you were
answer-
so sweet. You
yeah,
held my hand and kind of caressed. I mean, sorry guys, we're getting too into the weeds
yeah.
here.
But it was really cool just to see like a totally different culture. Lucky for us, like a lot of the signs have some English on them, and then getting around is actually super easy, dude. Like it's way easier than here. There's one app. It's called Alipay, and like literally you can pay for everything in the one app. Like it's just like QR codes. You just scan your phone. You can get DDs, which is like an Uber, straight in the app. The map's in the app, and there's a translate to English in the app. So you can do everything. You can make your way around. You can pay for stuff. You can map stuff. You can get Ubers, all in one app. You never have to carry your wallet. It's like actually so convenient. Way more convenient than if a Chinese person who didn't speak any English came here,
Bro,
they'd be fucked.
They'd be
There's no
lost.
Chinese signs. There's like
Lost.
1,000 apps,
Yeah.
So there were some really cool parts about it. And the culture was very interesting, of course, to like be halfway across the globe, literally the 13 hours difference in time zone, and just see some different culture. And then there was a lot of really cool pickleball stuff, like I said, that I can't really talk about, but working on some cool things, some interesting stuff.
Hell
Got
yeah.
to like see some different things. But yeah, missed you.
Yeah,
You know?
I know.
We didn't talk the whole
Absence
time.
makes the heart go
Not a
fonder.
single word.
We said very little. Yeah, I was just kind of let you go, let you spread your wings, and
Okay, but here's my
What you
goal.
want me.
Ryan from Valère, he's now gone to China 3 times in a row, and he's like, I'm going to go every year.
Dang.
And honestly, dude, for my work, like I have multiple clients. They work in these factories that are all near this area. A lot of them do, at least. It would be so beneficial for me to go. Honestly, it would be really beneficial for me to go and like stay for 2 months every year,
Yeah.
like 2 months of every year. Now, I'm not going to do that, but that would be awesome. But here's my goal now. If I'm going to go back to China next year or later this year, whenever it is, my goal is to get rich enough to not have to fly coach. Because, wow, that is brutal on a 12-hour plus flight.
Dude.
Just like trapped in one little seat, and like my knees are against the seat in front of me. My ass is
No.
completely numb. I also cannot sleep on planes. I slept 2 hours, like out of the whole 30-hour trip.
Ugh.
So maybe if I was in like the nice, I see whatever it is, business class, first class, they have like chairs that fully recline and like in a little pod. So I got to get rich.
Yeah,
or
dude.
I don't know that I'm going back if I'm flying coach. Like I will pay a lot more. It was those flights, especially the one was 14 and a half hours. That was a rough experience. After about like hour 7, I was like, wow, this is tough.
Yeah, about 6 hours is really the cutoff for me in economy, where it just becomes annoying, like just so
It's
annoying.
incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I wish they would make planes a little bit more friendly for people, but I get they gotta make that money, fit as many.
Yeah, dude, there were
sardines as we can.
364 people on our plane. That's
Yeah.
a lot of people.
That's a lot.
It was 100% full. So
Was it 343?
yeah, 343, and then of course there were different classes, but yeah, and we were in the back of the plane, and luckily in the back of the plane, like the right as the plane narrows, it goes to like 243, so we were in one of the rows with 2.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
But like it gave us a little bit more armrest room, but that's it. Like still, my knees are. I'm only 6 foot, but my knees are touching the seat in front of me. Like,
Yeah,
that's
my weird femurs,
yeah.
bro. I would have been poking into that seat in front of me,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Whew.
So when in the flight we took from LA to Austin on the way back, like the last little leg, it was just a Delta flight. We were just regular Delta flight in regular Delta seats. But I got in those and I was like, oh my god, these are way more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like it was not nearly as flat and hard. There was a little bit more leg room.
That's
crazy.
Just like,
welcome
usually
back
the
to
long
America.
haul flight planes typically have the more comfortable seats.
That's what I would have expected, but maybe it's because it was China Eastern Airlines. Maybe they were Chinese sized, and I'm not particularly Chinese sized.
Yeah, maybe.
But let me say this also real quick. This is a bit of a culture shock that I probably should have expected, but maybe didn't. Shout out to other places that aren't America for not having half the population be giant and obese. Like I was there for literally over 10 days, and I can count on one hand the amount of obese people I saw.
Dang.
And then we get back, and it's immediately like, okay. Welcome back to America. Yeah. So,
well, yeah, it's a lot.
That's a cultural problem we got.
Yeah, definitely. No bueno. All right. Well, anything else about China you want to touch on before we?
No, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Look at this.
We got paddles, guys.
I just came home to this, by the way.
Yeah, we got some paddles to talk about. We're going to run through a ton. There's quite a few that I haven't hit that are coming out that we're just going to tell y'all about. We're going to do some sneak peek. We're going to talk a little bit net gains about where both of our games are currently. Justin, you don't know that, but now you do. Then we're going to hit the new week, new main, baby. And Justin's going to give us a little question for everybody to answer for NERDTOWN. So
you're going to get a participation grade. Grade on NERDTOWN today.
You will.
The viewers are.
All right. Well, things first. I dropped a couple of reviews while you were gone. Spartus P1, awesome paddle. Gherkin, Draco, another awesome paddle. The Gherkin Draco currently doing a kind of giveaway. So if you purchase the Draco within the next week, we'll announce it on the next podcast. One of the people who uses Code Pursuit will get a full refund on their Draco. So if you're interested in that paddle and you want some form of incentive to potentially get it for free, won't be a bad time. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, man, Draco's pretty badass. Have you hit it very much?
I played with it a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
And I also hit it on the ball machine yesterday. It's one of the... I was trying to get some reps into some of these new paddles. It's limited, but we'll talk as we go through because some I've hit, some I haven't, some I played more with, some barely.
Yeah. All right, so let's real quick talk about the Holbrook Fuze is coming out very soon, and it's going to be in 3 shapes. 2 thicknesses for their elongated. We've talked about this a bunch. I just want to let you guys know it's coming out. I think it's the... let me get this up real quick. But these paddles are very, very good. They are power paddles for sure. These are some of the poppier paddles that I've played with and have a very unique core design. So
yeah, bouncy pop, not stiff pop.
No, very bouncy. This is a paddle that I'll go from loving to being like, I can't play with this. Yeah, it'll just flip flop. I'll have days where I'm just like, oh my god, this paddle's great, and then there's days where oh my god, this paddle's too much for me. But release date is February 12th, and I can't remember what the price is. $229 before code. So it is a very, very good paddle. One of the poppier paddles that I've played with, and I'll potentially do a dedicated review, but definitely one to look out for. It's probably some of the more passive grit that I felt, but still
legal,
gives
baby.
You very
legal grit.
Very legal, and it still gives you with the core design pretty good ball shapeability. Nothing elite, but definitely a paddle that performs very well. So we've talked about that Fuze a lot, but we'll move on.
Real quick, let me say a couple things about it.
Oh, you got the thing. I should have got that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So here's the core.
Very cool. Very cool design.
EVA around the outside, this white part, look, it can come off. And then the inner part is EPP. You can kind of see the line here. This is 2 different pieces, and then there's some cutouts here to kind of manage weight and flex. But so this is similar to the Arma with the pattern of dual density, but now in foam, and it's a floating core like this. But yeah, so I came home for with a package from Holbrook, and it was all the Fuze paddles, and then plus that little foam core piece, and this they call their premium paddle cover, which is actually super nice. It's
very nice,
patent leather almost, or maybe that's not the right word. It feels like leather, but it looks super nice. Anyway, and I had already had all the Fuze paddles, so I text Bragan Holbrook, and I was like, "Hey, dude, thanks for sending these over, but just let you know, like, you guys already sent me these. I thought maybe they sent by accident a second time." And I was like, let me know if you want me to send them back or forward them along. I don't want to like take a bunch of free stuff for no reason.
Yeah.
And he told me that they did it on purpose and they actually updated the graphics. Now I haven't looked at this one versus the old one. It's not a huge update, but apparently there are some updated graphics compared to what we had shown before. So what I'm showing right now, if you're watching, is the new one, updated graphics. This is the hybrid shape, great handle, long handle. Yeah, I actually quite like these paddles. I think I'm the same way as you. I actually really like them. I think they play really good. I think they have an interesting profile because they are maybe pocketing and bouncy, but also poppy. I think a lot of people are going to really like them. I'm too trash for them though. They're a little bit too powerful for me. So most people will like that.
Geared towards the 4.5 plus, almost 5.0 plus. Yeah. I mean, lower level players can play with them, but just no.
High tier power.
Hard. Yeah. No, they are very good, dude. Definitely a paddle I was extremely impressed with, even though it was kind of hard for me to play with.
Good shapes. I don't
shapes
have them
are awesome.
with me, but they have a wide body with a long handle, and they have a typical elongated, which most elongated users will just like. Like Lewis said, the elongated 16 and 14. And the elongateds, I'm not sure if it's both or just the 14, but you should check this. They have a UPA approved version. So if you play pro qualies or anything, it's either both the elongators or just the 14 elongated. Clarify that, but I'm sure they have. I'm positive they have
both
at least one
dual
UPA.
stamps, 16 and,
both.
14.
Okay,
as you can see right here.
So both thicknesses and elongated UPA.
Yeah, there's the dual stamps in case anybody wanted to see. So
yeah, dual approved. So
very good paddles.
Yeah, man, and they look sick. Holbrook always nails it with the aesthetics.
You know what? Let's talk about UPA versus USAP towards the end of this podcast because there's some intriguing paddles that are coming out that are only UPA approved. So I want to touch on those. So anything else on the Fuze before we move on?
No, that's all.
Cool. Well, I've been playing and loving. I'm sure Justin does not love the feel of this at all, but the SpeedUp Tide 14H, really, really enjoying this paddle. Extremely unique, very thocky, very. It's a very different feeling paddle. It's hard to explain almost how it feels, but gives you a little bit of dwell, but has a very just lots of feedback. But in my opinion, it's not like negative feedback. It's actually. It could be neutral for most people. It's like, I don't really love it, don't hate it.
It's going to be a love it or hate it, I think. You think it's going to be neutral? I think it's going to be a love it or hate it feel.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing, by the way.
Yeah, I would say, it'll be a little polarizing. But, I mean, the feedback
so
is not
unique.
that, like, it's not horrible.
It's
like
not
where somebody's like,
painful
this sucks.
or bad.
Yes.
Yeah, no, people aren't going to pick it up and be like, this feels like trash. They're going to be like, oh, this feels unique. And they'll either like really like that uniqueness or be like, oh, this isn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't like it.
These paddles are good price too. They're $159 before Code Pursuit. I think
that is a good
shaves
price.
10% off, which should be, so $16 off of that. So pretty good price. I mean, $143 for a paddle that performs as well. The grit is crazy. The shot shaping ability is very, very good, especially at the kitchen line. And this paddle smacks the shit out of the ball, dude.
Dude, it is poppy.
Just smacks it.
I did play with this one a little bit.
Not as bouncy pop. It's more of like that responsive.
More of like a
pop
14 millimeter stiff pop. Crisp.
Yeah.
We'll say crisp. Because
Yes.
people don't maybe like stiff, but very crisp.
Which, in my
pop.
opinion, the difference, big key designator, in my opinion, between a bouncy poppy paddle and a stiffer poppy paddle is the stiffer poppy paddle, in my opinion, is easier to dial in and is more predictable. Whereas
Feels
the
more
bouncy it's not as predictable, not as consistent feeling, even though, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the same shit happening over and over again, let's be honest. But it just feels like you can't quite dial in those slightly different, paces of balls that you're trying to absorb and then reset. So that's my personal opinion on that. I don't know how you feel about that, but...
No, I agree completely. It's
SpeedUp
just more linear, more predictable.
Is legit. This paddle's legit. If you hate the feel of thawky, stiff, high feedback paddles, this is not the one. But if you like that, you like MPP, whoo, boy.
Yeah, a lot of people will like this.
Good.
And I'm going to go into this in NERDTOWN, but this is like the trifecta of the feel that I personally don't like.
Yes.
MPP, don't like the feel of it. TPE, don't like the feel of it. And then it's 45-degree face layers, which is another stiffening factor. So all of those things equal like higher frequency vibrations, which, again, it's preference. I'm not saying bad, but that is not my preference. But then it has that thawky, like you're calling, like a lot of MPP paddles, since MPP is lower density, they feel hollow, then they like thawk.
Yeah.
So I can tell you from hitting it, it's objectively good. The performance is very good, but not my cup of tea personally. Cool colors though. And of course, like we talked about this last time, but fully molded handle, huge props there. I really appreciate that. Let me ask you this. It's super gritty. You said that already.
Yes. Very gritty.
Very gritty. Okay.
One of the grittiest paddles that I felt. It's up there with like the Thrive and
stick to your shirt grit. I think it's about the same as the Thrive.
Maybe. The Mark, what was it? What was the first Mark that they came out? R2? I don't know. But anyway.
So look, very gritty as far as peel ply goes, like the grittiest peel ply you'll feel. So let me ask you this. You were talking about how good the spin is and the ball shaping is, and that's one of the reasons why you like it. If the grit was more average, do you think you would still like it as much?
That's something I've been thinking a lot about lately with all these new paddles that are coming out that are just crazy grit and crazy, grip. The P1 is like more grippy than gritty, but still has some grit to it. And yeah, I think the more I play with these paddles, the more I do realize that I do like having just that slight increase in shot shaping ability and spin generation, because so many of my shots, especially, not that I play like crazy high level pickleball, but the higher level you get, the more you're shaping the ball on every stroke, and having that extra, 50, 100, 200 RPMs doesn't sound like a ton, but it can be pretty beneficial. And I wouldn't say it's necessary, but it is nice to have. It's definitely something I've been gravitating towards.
I agree. I'll talk about this very briefly when we talk about the Power 2.
Yeah. So SpeedUp Tide will be available for pre-order. They're sometime in mid to late February. They haven't decided just yet when that's going to happen. Still waiting on the H to be approved. The L is already approved, and is it the S is the standard?
I don't know.
14S?
I don't have that one.
I can't. Yeah, he didn't send us because we just asked for the 2, but their standard shape has not been approved yet either. But I would be shocked if those 2 did not get approval when the elongated is already. So, good paddles. They're fairly maneuverable apart from the L. The L was 122 stock swing weight, it's up there. But it is a 16.6 by 7.4 paddle. So it's a little bit longer. It has the kind of not flared out, but it has a lot of the weight towards the head of the paddle with how it's shaped. And it's just a little bit less maneuverable than I imagine the hybrid in standard will be. So great paddles, ones to look out for, ones that are getting a lot of buzz, but I don't think it's going to be as enticing to the masses just because it doesn't have durable grit, which is what everyone is just foaming at the mouth for. So what does have durable grit is the new 11624 Vapor Power 2. Justin, you've hit this very, very briefly, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna withhold most of my opinions right now because I didn't have enough time on it.
Yeah,
but
this.
What I will say though, I'll just say, just to continue our conversation about grit. This has like the hex grit, UPA only approved. It's very gritty to the touch, maybe equally as gritty as the SpeedUp. And yeah, man, the gritty paddles, like where I really notice and appreciate it, is like on dinks,
and rolls,
and like kind of mid-speed rolls, not the crazy hard ones.
Yeah,
but to be honest, like if you're driving or serving, or even like returning, like so a full swing, I feel like I get roughly the same amount of spin from a paddle with crazy grit versus a paddle with, we'll call it average grit.
I would agree.
But
yeah,
the amount of extra spin on like roll dinks and like little off-speed, slower rolls out of the air, it is significant. And honestly, it's pretty like addicting. So, so I look forward to playing this one more. Like specifically for me, like I do a lot of off-speed backhand rolls out of the air. Whether they're like almost end up kind of being like dinks, even though, or full flicks. And those off-speed ones, it's like, that's pretty nice. You could do some pretty crazy stuff with it.
I don't know if you've watched my first look of this paddle and the SpeedUp, but I was spamming my two-hand backhand roll dink, and just I was hitting like clean winners with two-hand backhand dinks. It was crazy. Just the amount of shape you can get on those, and you can, with this grit being so high, you can actually put a little more pace on these balls and still keep them in, so you can be even more aggressive. So part of that is due to the hex grit texture, but also because it's UPA, there is no... correct me if I'm wrong. There's not a specific RZ and RT that they have to...
There's no grit limit, just a spin limit.
Just a spin limit. So, but they were doing grit limit for a little bit, right? Is that...
No, so how it works is they test the grit, right, at the same time that they test the spin. And the spin has to be no more than 2,100 RPM on their test. Don't equate that number to what reviewers are saying, because
it means nothing.
It's a different test. It's an air cannon thing. But on their test, the paddle has to score 2,100 or below. At the same time, in tandem, they're going to test the grit. The grit number is not a pass-fail, but it is valuable because now, let's say, for instance, this paddle, which Deckelbar uses, let's just make up numbers here. Let's say it tested 2,050, so it passed the spin test, right? And then they test the grit, and the grit comes in, I'm making up numbers, but like RZRT like 40, 75, right? So now they have those numbers on file. When Deckel shows up to play, the UPA does their on-site testing, their on-site deflection test, their on-site grit test, and then they want to make sure that the one that Deckel is using is within a percentage range of the one that was submitted, right? So if it is, if it's about the same grit or less, they're like, cool, go play with it. If it is, like up to 10% more, then they'll be like, go play with it, or go hit with it a little bit and bring it back. If it's over 10% more, I'm pretty sure they say disqualified, you have to bring a different one. If it's over 20% more than what they tested, they take the paddle. And the company, like 11624 in this case, can be fined for that.
Damn.
So,
that's
I'm pretty sure
smart.
that's how it goes. But that's why the grit is measured. It's not a pass-fail, but it's a reference so that they can have accountability for the ones that the pros are using.
Yeah. So these paddles will be very popular.
Yes, I think so.
John Q's, he said that his main is the Hirachi X, so just take that for what it's worth. Expect that there will be other shapes, and these paddles are good.
And there's some colors.
Yeah,
this little periwinkle. I love
they're
that.
Very good.
I'm a purple boy.
This is I think the best part about this paddle is it's going to fit the needs of a lot of people. It's not an ultra powerful paddle, but it's right there in the middle tier. The spin is crazy. If the hex grit can hold up, that's a huge win, and I think it's under $200 if I'm not mistaken.
I think 200 with code. I'm pretty sure it's like 199.
198. So, in my opinion, a durable grit texture. If this can last you an extra 2-3 months, it's well worth spending $30 extra, in my opinion. So, intriguing paddle. Really curious to see how this hex grit holds up. I've played 6-7 hours, and it doesn't feel drastically different. Feels pretty much the same, and I don't know how much having ball dust in here affects the feel of the grit, but I would imagine that definitely will make it feel a little bit less gritty than it would otherwise, but still feels relatively consistent across the face when I rub my fingers after 6-7 hours of play. So definitely an intriguing one. I think these are going to be one of the more popular paddle series that we see at the pickleball courts going forward. Very curious to see how these hold up. Hopefully they are excellent. Anything else on the 11.6 before we move on, man?
Not today, but I do want to revisit it, of course, as we check the grit, and I personally will put a lot more time on it because I'm curious. I'm interested in the paddle as a whole. That has main potential for sure.
Yes, it's very good. Very, very good. All right. Couple paddles that... Oh, we got one more that I've hit. The Coda. I should have grabbed it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I do have it.
I got it.
Yeah. I got the Coda from Chorus. This is their hybrid shape they sent us. Full foam, and it's basically a floating core. They kind of slightly do their floating cores different, and their edge foam, perimeter edge foam that they put in is a little bit different than what we've seen. And overall, I've only played with this stock and just a few drills, so super early thoughts. So take that with a grain of salt. Like the paddle, it feels kind of lower tier power. The stability was shockingly good for a stock paddle, and I didn't really have any complaints about the paddle. I felt like it played good, looked good, shape is great, no taper, just a really good shape actually.
Handle is good. Yeah,
handle's good.
Like a front runner for one of my favorite shapes, like paddle shapes. Period.
Oh yeah, it's just completely just a neutral shape in terms of how it's going to fit the needs of people. It's the taper is good, and the neck taper is good, and then the flatter top, flatter sides, I think benefits itself to feel. This is very much like the Kiwi Slice shape, which was one of the first long handle hybrid shapes to ever hit the market, if I'm not mistaken.
But that Slice is like Lean's standard. It's like 16.1.
This
is
a
like
tiny bit shorter. Yeah.
So
this is a good shape. I really, really like this shape. Definitely will be playing more with it. I can't remember the exact price, but it's coming out mid-February.
Tomorrow.
I'll look up the price. Oh, it comes out tomorrow.
February 10th, they're opening pre-orders. Or
10th,
orders.
okay.
I don't know if it's pre-orders or orders, but no, that's new. I just heard that today, that they're opening up orders tomorrow, February 10th. Another purple paddle, dark purple.
Today's the third, big dog.
Oh, my God. Look, all right. Give me some grace.
Yeah, it's coming out, and they'll be opening pre-orders in 1 week from the day that we record this, probably 6 days from the day that we upload this. So, February 10th. No big deal. Under $200, correct? After code?
Probably. Yeah. I hit with this a little bit on the ball machine, and I'm intrigued. This is more of the feel that I'm gravitating towards, where it's more like dense, plusher.
Yeah.
And they call it like treble foam, so like triple foam, but in reality, like you said, it's like EVP and EVA floating core. Then they have their polyurethane edge foam, not wrapped in carbon, and it's a little bit denser than the rest of the market, and maybe a little bit more elastic. So there technically are 3 foams in it. If you count all those, it's like a triple foam core. But this is one that I actually look forward to putting more time on. I only had a little bit of time, but like I said, me personally, I think this probably plays into my preferences and what I'm leaning towards recently.
All right, let's go talk about the FLIK F3. I have not hit these, so I'll just let you take the lead on this, and then we'll move on to a couple of other paddles that will be coming out or have already come out that just want to let you guys know. So go ahead, Justin.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Warning. Disclaimer. Bias warning. Okay.
Chill alert.
Maybe we need to put that in the comments. I do that because I helped with the development of this paddle. So I I will talk mostly about like what the paddle is, what the design intention is, and all the different facts about it. I'll give a little bit of my subjective play thoughts, but just understand that, there's some inherent bias there from, because I helped develop it. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so this is it, the FLIK F3, and this is a triple core, is what they're calling it, and that's like kind of where the 3 and F3 comes from. We just talked about the Coda, which had a treble core, 3 foams. If you wanted to count it the same way, this technically actually has 4, because it has your typical edge foam, the PU foam, but that's not counted. That's not part of the triple core. The triple core here is like, whenever I initially worked on this concept, I called it the target core. So think about like the Target logo or a Target, you have like a center and then concentric rings. So that's what's going on here. You have a center EPP kind of oval that's sort of the shape of the paddle face. And then around that is another ring of lower density EPP. And then around that is a ring of EVA, which is again even lower density and more elastic. The concept here is, because of physics, the further you get away from center, top, bottom, left, right, you lose power, because there's more energy lost in the paddle twisting or getting pushed or whatever. Everyone knows this. If you hit center, you have more power. So trying to counteract that a little bit and make the sweet spot bigger by lowering the density the further out you go, because lower density foam returns more energy. So let's just say, fake numbers, you hit the center of the paddle, you get 100 power. As you go out, maybe you're hitting here and you only get 50 power, right? Well, if you engineer more power into the foam by lowering the density, maybe that ups that 50 to 70. And the same thing, maybe you go out here, maybe you would normally get 20 power. Oh, well, then you lower the density, up the power, via the core dynamics. Now you up that 20 to 40. So now you went from 100, 50, 20, steeper drop off, to 100, 70, 40, something like that. So that's the design concept. And I think it works really well. So the sweet spot and the response across the face is really consistent, and the feel is really good. Like, so maybe this wasn't necessarily the intention behind it, but we kind of found out along the way that this triple core, or it's almost like a floating core, if you want to say that, like, whoa, dude, like, what if we floated a floating core, So it's like shower thoughts, right? Anyway, but yeah, the feel is actually quite plush and soft, and dense, which is unique for a lot of these foam paddles. We're getting a lot of foam paddles that are thocky, as you would say, like hollow, stiffer. So this is filling the void on the other side of the feel spectrum. You're getting more of a soft, like pocketing, plush feel, which is really nice. And my take is that it's somewhere on the border of all court and power. You're probably going to hear people say this is low power or this is high all court. The numbers I'm looking at from the other reviewers kind of put it in the low power category, but how easy it is to control, it almost feels in hand more like an all court paddle, which is not a negative. That's something I'm personally like leaning towards more. There are 3 shapes. All 3 have the same handle. So it's a fully molded polyurethane handle, which FLIK, previously Body Helix, has always done. They were like one of the first ones to do it, along with SpeedUp. So great handles, 5.5-inch handle, literally all 3 shapes. So the face changes, but the handle doesn't. Like, this is the elongated, and this is the hybrid. And then the same thing is true when you go down from the hybrid to the standard. So that's like a lot of the information about the paddle. Me personally, my like play preference, I actually gravitate towards the standard the most, which isn't normally the case. But it's because across the board, the balance points are maybe 2-3 millimeters higher than average for the given shape, right? So even though this is a standard, it's a true 16x8, the balance point of it is more in line with most hybrids. So I think that's why once I weight it up in the way that I normally weight up the paddle, that it just feels more natural to me. It actually plays to me like a hybrid. Like, when I go from other hybrids to this standard, I don't notice it. It feels good. So this is the one I like. This has actually been in my bag for a long time because, I was helping with the development, the testing, and this has been finalized and passed for a while. This is what I've been calling my safety blanket paddle. And it's like on the days where either it's cold, so the ball is hard, maybe it's windy, or I'm just like having an off day, or I'm playing up a little bit and people are hitting hard. I will go like pull out my safety blanket paddle because it's like so easy to play soft with drops. And I'll pull out the safety blanket and just be like, okay, I'm just dropping everything. I'm dinking. I'm going to try to extend the points, play a little smarter. And this paddle like really plays into that, and probably what I should do more of, honestly. But it still has plenty of pop like on counters and stuff. It's not like, he's got that paddle, just speed up at him. He can't counter it. It's not like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you should try it. Great handle. Great grip. This is like, look, I've actually played a lot with this paddle, and it still has a stock grip. This is the only brand of stock grips that I will just play without an overgrip. Mm-hmm. Now, after a while, it's going to wear down, and then I'll put an overgrip on it.
And the Franklins. You played with the Franklin.
True.
Yeah.
The Franklin grips are elite also. I forgot about those. Those were very, very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super rare that there's a stock grip that I'm like, I'll play with this. But
Same.
the shape of this handle and the circumference and then this grip, I'll just play with it stock. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. If you guys have any questions for me about these, since I kind of had the inside line throughout the development, let me know and in the comments, and we can revisit them after Lewis plays, and I'll answer some of those questions.
Yep.
But yeah, huge shout out to the FLIK team, by the way. They're great people. That's just a company that has been making great stuff. Even before I worked with them, I talked about them on the podcast and just said I always appreciate how they just care about quality, and that like the molded handle, the super nice grip. They have the best, most luxurious head covers you've ever seen. All their clothes
ridiculous.
It's super nice. All the stuff is like way nicer than it should be. You know, you're like, wow.
I told them, I was like, hey, don't send me the head covers. Those are way too nice. I don't even use them. Just save those for other people. Like they are ridiculously nice. Yeah.
It's easily the nicest head cover. And then the clothes, like I said, we have talked about plenty of times that shirt that they make. I can't remember the name of it, but for the summertime, the best. I recently got some of their pants. I just bought them myself, and I wore them for my 30 hours of travel, and I was like, these are great. They're kind of like the Viore style pants.
Yeah.
So big shout out to the team. Fred also really cares about R&D, and the dude is full of ideas, and he's just like going after it and trying to do something different and trying to do it the right way and like going after performance. He is a extremely high level tennis player, or maybe in the past. I don't think he still plays tennis, but if you look up his history, if you want to do some research, or if you know tennis at all, he pretty much like dominated senior tennis in the United States for like a decade or more, which is crazy. Yeah, so the whole team there is great. They're really good people.
Now he's a trader.
It's been fun
making pickleball paddles.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think a lot of what he prefers in feel and playability coincides a lot with what like tennis converts like. Like he wants the maximum amount of like dwell time and like you know, that type of pocketing. So that comes out in this paddle. I did help with the concept, but it's not like I did everything 100% of the way through this. I was just working with him. Fred did a lot of it. But yeah, so leave questions in the comments and we'll revisit these. And then Lewis, you should play with them. I think they are actually an interesting input compared to all the other Gen 4, like Gen 4. I hate that I use that term. Foam paddles, because they're a little bit different. So pretty cool and good shapes. So
hell yeah. All right, dude. Well, I'm going to just show you some paddles that are coming out as well.
I got some too. If we'll touch on them or I'll show these and we can talk about them or not.
The Pickleball Apes Joy. It's coming out. $99, I think. Paddle Tech Reserve. Elongated. Comes in both 14 and 16. Foam paddle. The Groovin' Movin' 16 HD, as well as the Laser 16 full foams. And I think that's it right now.
I got a couple more. I mean, we can or can't talk about them if you want.
Go for it, baby.
Draco?
Oh, yeah. Talked about the Draco earlier, but yeah. That paddle.
You already talked about it?
Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning, remember? How they were doing the giveaway? Yeah, we've been talking about a lot. We're 45 minutes deep already.
Perfect. That's what the people want. Anyway.
Dope.
Yeah, it's really good. Played with it this morning. So limited time, only about an hour this morning. I split the session. We'll play with it more. I put a little bit of weight on it, and like just with this much weight, this is maybe like 3 grams, I don't know. Stability is great, shape is great, like the handle's great, all good across the board. Might be a little bit too poppy for my preferences. It's definitely a power paddle. I will play with it more though.
It's basically I described this on one of my stories. I should have said this I might have said it in the review, but is virtually a NF, but better in virtually every way, apart from the spin. The spin is like about equivalent, maybe slightly less, but more power, more pop, better feel, and the shape is just as good. Handles long. It's just a really good paddle. Good price too.
Big
cheaper.
Sweet spot.
Yeah.
Sweet spot. Great paddle.
Pretty big. I mean,
this is one I'm definitely going to play more with.
Yeah.
J6CR.
Oh yeah.
You played a lot with this. I haven't. I've only played a little bit now. And this is another one that will get more time from me. Again, might be a little bit poppier than I want, but I'm not normally an elongated person, but I feel like this J6CR plays like a hybrid. That was my impression.
Yeah, I would agree. It's definitely one of the quicker, more maneuverable, more stable feeling elongated shape paddles. I mean, which is, what most elongated shape paddles suffer in. So that J6 shape is genuinely one of the best. It's not even just the shape. I guess it's how they construct the paddles and make sure that they meet certain metrics
because the balance point is super low.
Yeah.
So that's not to do with the outer shapes. It's probably to do with all the extra structure going on around the throat. But the balance point on this is like lower than most standard or wide body shapes. It's crazy low. That's why I have this weight up here. This is kind of like my standard weight setup, but not normally on an elongated, by the way. I would normally have this down here, but like I said, I think it feels and swings like a hybrid. In the sweet spot, width feels kind of like a hybrid. So I'll play more with this for sure. Feels
very limited thoughts.
Good.
Where do you think that stands and stacks up against the top paddles in the market? I personally think my first impressions, I didn't like blow it up because honestly, it's just like paddles are so freaking good now. Just seeing these small incremental gains on what was already a elite paddle in the NF series was kind of just like, yeah, it's better, but it's not like a monster jump. But it's still, in my opinion, I'd say it's got to be top 3 paddle series on the market.
You think so? Because
I just don't know what is more well-rounded.
I just played with like all these back to back. The FLIK, the Holbrook, the Chorus Coda, the 11624 Power 2, the Gherkin Draco, the J6CR. It is really hard for me to say any one of these is better than the rest. Yeah. Or worse than the rest. Yeah. Out of this stack right here, they all have their own difference, like maybe in feel and preference, but I think an argument can be made if any one person really clicks and likes with any of these, and any argument can be made for any one of these. This is the best paddle out of these, or
there's
the argument
can be made.
This is the worst paddle out of these. But an embarrassment of riches, right?
What's the worst one in your opinion? Say it. Say it.
Ugh, for me, dude, this is limited time, but.
There's one to your left that's on the table that I thought you were for sure going to say.
I didn't put it in the stack. The SpeedUp would be the worst out of this for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. They're all so good. The Holbrook is worse for me. It's not the worst paddle, but it's too much for me. Like
it's
in that specific
it is an embarrassment of riches, as you say. Lots of good stuff. I tell people all the time. They're like, "Hey, I want to try this paddle." I'm like, "Do you like your paddle?" And they're like, "Yeah, I love my paddle." Why do you want to try something else? Just stick with your paddle, bro. Just stay with it. So, all right. I think that's pretty much all the paddles we got to talk about. God damn. Hope you guys enjoy listening to Paddle Talk because that was 51 minutes. We're going to move on. Justin's going to give us a very sneak peek.
Real quick.
Solution FF speeds? What are they?
Close. Listen, Asics naming is garbage.
Yeah.
Asics Solution Speed FF4. Okay.
Yeah. They look good.
So, quick story about
little
these.
volleyball-ish looking, but
yeah, they kind of do, right? That's just the Asics styling. They just released, and the FF3s, if you remember, are these Solution Speed FF3s, which I wore through. This is my third pair. So I was like, ooh, I got to try the Force. And I actually ordered them when they released, and then they got delivered while I was in Asia. But lucky me, while I was in Asia, I was at Stacked in Hong Kong, and it's inside of a mall. And guess what? There's an Asics store, like 2 doors down. And lo and behold, I see these bad boys on the shelf there.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
They're cheaper there.
Oh.
And then next level is Simon. Shout out to Simon, owner of Stacked, one of the owners there. They have a deal with Asics where they can get 30% off at Asics.
Simon's a wild man, dude.
Simon's awesome.
Yeah.
He's so fun. He's great. So I was like, yo, bro, like, I think I'm about to go get these shoes. He was like, well, come on. Me and him went. He likes shoes too. We went to the Li-Ning store. We tried on some Li-Nings.
Ooh.
And yeah, there's some Li-Ning pickleball shoes that you can't even get in America. I'm going to try to get them.
Are they
One
good?
of the guys there who I played with. They look good, dude.
Yeah, I'd be very interested in those. Li-Ning, if for anybody who just does not know, they basically have like a cult following with their basketball shoes because they
really
are
good
legitimately elite basketball shoes.
Yes, exactly.
Way of Wade is Li-Ning, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so Way of Wade is like kind of the American brand or off-brand. That could be wrong in saying that, but
no, it's like a sub-brand. It's the same way that like Jordan is Nike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Way of Wade is Li-Ning, but it's Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
So anyway, Simon was like, let's go. And we went and tried on some shoes, and then he hooked me with 30% off. So then I bought them while I was there, and they cost me $95 out the door. Meanwhile, the ones I ordered were like $140 plus tax plus shipping. So then I got back. They're here. I'm like, I'm about to just return these. I just saved $50.
Boys. Yeah.
Same exact shoe. I even like pulled the other ones out, and I was like looking at the serial number. I'm like, are these the same? They are the same. All I have to say is I think I'm going to do a full review on these. So
oh boy.
Yeah. So and you're going to have to edit it. So surprise.
Surprise.
I did that one full review on the Skechers, and I like that, man. I was having fun, so I want to do some more full reviews.
Do it, bro.
And I think people are interested in this, but I want to try to find a way for us to get a discount code for you guys. Right now,
we need to figure that out ASAP.
Like, I don't even care if we don't get commission from it. I just want to make sure we can like
people get
you guys
shoes.
a discount.
Yeah,
exactly. So
I would love to have a discount for me. Frick, dude.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, true. Exactly.
Let's figure that out so we don't have to pay full price on shoes.
So we got to talk to some of the shoe retailers, whether that's Midwest Racket Sports, whether that's Tennis Express, Tennis Warehouse. They don't have these at Pickleball Central, although they do have some Asics.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to do a full review because I've been wearing these. Like, they're actually really good. The quick and dirty, if you came from the threes were literally like the lightest court shoes, period, across the board, any brand. And I just weighed these two. These were 299 grams, and these are 340. So they're 40 grams heavier. So that's a significant increase in weight.
Quick question. Do you know how much weight you lose whenever you go through your outsole? Roughly?
Grams. Less than 5 grams.
Less than 5 grams. Gotcha, yeah.
Not much.
Just curious to know.
But yeah, so these are 40 grams heavier, but don't hear me saying that they're heavy because these being at 340 is still like very well within the light shoe like category. So it's still a speed shoe. But my main complaints with the 3 were the tongue's not gusseted, and so the tongue kept spinning, and you had to use a runner's knot. Dude, I tried all kinds of shit. I loved these shoes, but this drove me crazy, dude. The tongue would spin, and then also, because of the way the tongue is so thin, you had to use a runner's knot to get good heel lockdown, and then the runner's knot would add lace pressure, and the tongue was thin, so it didn't help. So then the laces would bite into your ankle. Oh, I was mad about it, dude. So that was my main complaint, and then my other complaint was they're pretty minimal, so the cushioning would wear down, and then you would start to feel it in your feet. And this is before the days of Blue Maca. I didn't have Blue Macas at that time. But so all those are like very well addressed in the Force. Tongue is super gusseted, does not move. It's very padded. The upper overall is more padded, and there's more cushion underfoot. And so they are far more comfortable. And these fit pretty narrow. Like you can see through here, this gets pretty pointy.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a more like forgiving fit. It's more rounded. They're a touch shorter, but you gain a lot of space around like the pinky toe, fifth metatarsal area. So they fit a lot better. They're going to fit a lot more people, while still maintaining a lot of the same like decoupled outsole for the traction and the same like twist truss thing that gives really good support for a shoe this light. They feel so snappy and also supportive. These are great. So
All right,
I'm going to keep wearing them. I'm going to do a review.
main once New Weekly Main segment comes out.
Oh yeah. I forgot we did that.
All right. Interesting. So are they better or worse than the Yonex? Or equivalent?
Tough. Better for the masses because of the fit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because the Yonex are a little on the narrow side, but they do have
They're
a wide.
a little unforgiving. Yeah. They do have a wide, but not only is the fit a little bit narrow, but the uppers on these are way more like malleable. Whereas the Yonex uppers, they give you that like super locked in, like cleat like feel, but they're not forgiving. If they don't fit you, they don't fit you, and you're not going to break them in easy. These would be way easier to break in. But yeah, for me personally, I honestly don't know. I need to like wear these back to back. I was wearing these most of the time I was in China. The Yonex, by the way, are so comfortable. I like wore them for multiple days in China where I wasn't even playing. One of the days I walked 25,000 steps, and then we also played for like an hour low level pickleball. And I wore my Yonex court shoes the whole time, and my feet were never uncomfortable. So
yeah,
anyway,
they're 6-month outsole warranty on the solutions. No. Okay.
No.
Yeah, so only the gel rest still. That's annoying.
Gel rest.
All right, well,
that's their durability shoe.
Yeah, I wish they were a little more lenient on stuff like that. I think that's such a valuable, addition to have for shoes. So, all right, we'll move on to net gains. So, Justin, I had a tournament this weekend. It was legitimately one of the weirdest tournaments I've ever played in. Was up and down. We're going to talk about just where our game is, what we're working on. We do this every few episodes just to kind of keep you guys up to date with why we still suck at pickleball. But yeah, played a 4-5 mix tournament. We were just choke artists. We were up. No. I think we were up 11-4 first game, lost 14-16. Second game, we won pretty handily. Third game, brother, I kid you not, we gave them 10 points, and we got pickled.
Oof.
It was...
To 15? You got pickled to 15?
No, we played to 11 that game. It was a 5-minute game. We had... I had 6 put-away poaches that I hit out. It was crazy. And then I had 2 rolls that were like very attackable, hit into the net.
How much did you cry in the shower that day?
I don't have any tears left in my body. It was crazy. I like apologized to the team. I was like, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry. And then we went somehow. We cracked the bracket and made it out into the knockout stage, and we were up 12-4, and we lost 14-16.
Oh God, dude!
Choke artists, dude.
That's a tough weekend.
Wild. One of the craziest. So, talked to the people that I played, kind of reviewed some of the footage, cried, threw up. Had you hold me in your arms. And after all that, I think I am starting to realize that I need to be a little bit more aggressive, but intentional about my aggressiveness. So a little more. You know better than most people. I kind of fall into the reset, build the point up, try to win the point, rather than maybe take a little bit of a chance here and there. And I think that's something I need to work on drastically need to work on just being a presence. Doesn't even have to be aggressive, just showing people that I'm there.
Your court
not
energy,
an option. Bro. Not an option to pick on. So
you got to up your court energy.
I did get iced out pretty bad on the last game, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't come over and still create something, So it's like, even, and I played with Laura, who's the first person. It was her first tournament, and she's a beast. Like, she's legitimately
sorry,
good.
Laura.
Yeah, Laura is good, and she was just like very cool. She was just like, dude, you can do whatever the hell you want. Like, if you want to come over here and grab it, go ahead. Just know neither of us have an ego about anything. Like, I trust her with every shot. She trusts me with every shot. And it was great. I think I just needed to be a little bit more of a presence. Just take one ball. Even if it's not that aggressive, just show them that I'm there and that the option to
make them hit smaller targets.
An easy, easy ball to make is not there anymore. So definitely something I'll work on. And then just overall consistency. It was just a weird day. Lots of ups and downs, but that's where I'm at. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't complain because the 2 tournaments before that I played very well and kind of played up to my potential, if you will. So where are you at, dude? I know you're lost. Life's crazy with China and everything, so you're not.
Yeah, rusty. You're not dialed. Rusty.
You're not dialed.
Yeah, I was rusty. I played this morning. After barely playing for the last 2 weeks, and definitely rusty. For me, like, it's the touch stuff. So it's drops and it's dinks where I notice it. Serves, drives, whatever, like, even hands. Like, it's, I don't know. You don't have a chance to, like, be rusty. But, yeah, I would hit a perfect drop followed by a drop that's literally 4 feet too high. And I'm like, what? Like, it felt the same. But
where'd this touch go?
Also, yeah, I'm switching paddles. Like, I'm all rusty. It's crazy, right? But, so I will say there was one major weakness in my game I've talked about, like, over months that I feel like is kind of addressed. Like, my hands are significantly better than they were. I took that lesson, pickleballed Ryan DeWidgeon, and then also got some additional coaching on top of that kind of unlocked some stuff from my coach. I almost outed him, almost doxed him on accident there.
Dude, almost dox him. Don't do that.
Don't dox him.
Don't dox.
So, yeah, my hands have actually been pretty good. Like, I feel pretty confident now on counters and just extending hands battles much better than I did before. So that's cool. Yeah. That feels good. Next, I think big hole in my game, not hole, but like big weak point that's costing me a lot is my returns are so crap. I don't, this is like old, but
me too, man.
It's like missing a few, missing 1 or 2 every game sucks. You shouldn't do that. It's like free points. And then also I just, hit a lot of floaters. So I think a return is actually maybe the most important shot in all of pickleball because a strong return makes for a hard third. And then you're at the net and they have to hit a difficult third. And you just set up the entire point in your favor. A weak return, now they get a really good third, an easy third, while you may not even have made it to the net yet because you hit a short floater. So they're just going to rip something at your feet. So it's like a totally different point. If you hit a strong return versus a weak return, completely different point.
I'll give a quick shout out to my boy Brennan, who he rips his returns, and it is fucking annoying to play against.
To try to hit thirds off of him?
Yeah, he's just ripping these returns, and they're deep, they're low, they're piercing, so you have the trifecta of annoyance with drops. Like, you have to absorb the pace. You have to get under it. You have to set your feet early so you don't get caught with the bounce coming into you.
Yeah.
And those are hard to drive. So it's like, if you can hit a good return, my God, dude, you are going to be just setting yourself up for success. Obviously, the higher up you get, the less that matters, because they're able to return it. But 4-0, 4-5, holy shit, dude. If you can hit a banging return 7-8 times out of 10, dude, you're going to be pounding people.
So that's where I'm, that's where I'm at. My backhand out of the air has always been like maybe a little strength of mine, but I feel like it's even better recently. Like my rolls and flicks are like kind of good. Elite. So it's kind of nice. Like I feel like my entire game right now is designed around making someone hopefully pop up one kind of high to my backhand, and then I feel like, oh, I'm gonna finish this point. You know? Which feels good. All the people I play against regularly like know better. They like won't engage in those patterns that I try to get a high ball to my backhand usually, or they won't drive like to my backhand or anything. So. But it feels good. It feels good, like getting a specific shot iced out on purpose. I'm like, yeah, you better watch out,
hitting a FLIK winner, it's not much better than that, dude. It's really not.
To me, it's like I've unlocked more options. I think that's the thing now. I've like got a lot of like hard rolls, off speed rolls, inside out, like down the line, sharp angle, or just straight up like a hard flick, at the body, at the shoulder, at the feet when necessary or when available. I just feel good. I feel like if there's a ball that's anywhere like waist to chest and I can hit a backhand, even if it's kind of over here or way out here, I'm like, okay, cool. I can do it kind of what I want, which is nice. I want to lock in for February because there is the PPA in Dallas coming up March 14th, I think is the Saturday. And I want to play 4 or 5, but you said you wouldn't play with me, so.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it. It's my birthday weekend.
It's all good.
I'll probably end up showing up and watching or playing against you.
What? You better not. You just say you're not going to play just so I get someone else. Well, I got to find a partner then if you're not going to play. I had another local guy.
Yeah, I would definitely try to find a partner. If you want to play, definitely find somebody because I'm unlikely. I may show up, who knows, but very, very unlikely.
Yeah. Well, I had a local friend I wanted to play with, but I asked him today, and he was like, oh, this other guy already asked me, another one of our local friends. And I was like, damn, I waited too long. So I don't really have too many options. We'll see. I'll find somebody.
Well, we know a lot of people in Dallas, Austin area.
I know, but
you could play with.
I want someone who I play with more regularly because I've done these tournaments where they're like semi-blind dates, and it is tough, bro.
It is not fun, dude. Especially PPA when it's one in and you're in the back draw. That is
like Rafa, pickleball tech dude. We like played a blind date tournament, and by the way, I like Rafa. I played with him a little bit, played against him a little bit, and I know his game, and it seems like we would fit, but we played really bad. We both played like below our potential. I think it was just playing together for the first time, so that sucked. I felt like I was letting him down, So anyway, I don't know. I have somebody I might play mixed with. That'll be fun. I don't normally get to play mixed. So.
Yeah, mixed is fun. I like it both. I like playing, playing both ways, So, yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll discuss. We'll do some pillow talk later. All right. On to everyone's favorite segment. New week, new main, sponsored by Bodie Performance. If you're looking for overgrips, tungsten tape, sleeves, apparel, bags, man, they got virtually everything you would need for your pickleball related needs. So you can use code Pursuit to save 15% when purchasing anything on bodieperformance.com. Thank you, Bodie, for sponsoring New Week, New Main. All right, Justin, you still chilling out, dude? What you got?
New week, no main.
No main. Oh, God.
Here's why. My Valair shift, which was my main, I actually gave away in Hong Kong. I literally don't have one.
Dang, bro. So, yeah, you got literally no main.
Yeah, there was some people wanting to try it, and I was, like, letting people try it, and then we were getting ready to leave, and I was like, you know what, just
take it.
So I gave it to the facility to stack so that people can demo it and try it. So until the, order ships for everybody, I'll get a one then. But until then, I don't have one, actually. And on top of that, like all these paddles to try. Like this stack right here is all potential mains. What's this? FLIK F3, Chorus Coda, 11.624 Power 2, Honolulu J6 CR, Gherkin Draco. All potential mains.
Yeah.
And I'll put each of these through the ringer,
not the SpeedUp?
so to say. But yeah, I don't know. I need to lock in something because, like I said, I want this month I want to like actually go a little bit try hard mode and like drill and practice and sit on one paddle. And I may end up back on the shift because it truly does fit my preferences really well. Like I actually play pretty well with it. So when a new one comes in, that one is definitely going to be in the conversation. So for now, new week, no main. On the paddles, shoes, these Asics Solution Speed FF4. This is going to be the main while I'm reviewing it, and maybe beyond. They're pretty good. I do like them. And then what's the other thing we talk about?
Bag? Yeah.
Bag?
Still rocking that flex?
Right. No, actually, remember I've been using the Backpack V2.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Just because I'm carrying so many paddles. Look, I just showed you a whole stack. If I didn't need to carry 6 paddles with me at a time, I would use the Flex. But I won't be using the ADV Backpack V2 for a while because I have the sample bag that I designed that I need to test and put through its paces, and I already have a list going of things I want to change for the next sample. So it's going to get a testing session, make sure nothing breaks down, see if there's any annoyances, things I really like, things I want to change. So I'll be testing this bag, and looks like this.
Whoa!
I mean, it's just pure black because it's the
You're
sample.
gonna whip
so
it out
you
like
can't
that?
actually see anything.
Dang,
you can't
bro.
actually see anything. But yeah, hopefully, the final version, if there is one, it's still not certain that's going to happen, will theoretically check all the boxes because I'm a picky bastard. I'm critical about stuff. So for me, it's like it better check all the boxes or I'll just use the ADV. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right.
Well,
what about you?
All right. So, I just want to touch on this. Justin, come March, you and I, we're going to make a pact. We're going to be completely different players. I am legitimately dedicating February to drilling.
Oh,
I am going to get better at all of
February's lock-in month.
My deficiencies. I am tired of not being consistent. That's so annoying. I just want to be able to. I want my floor to be higher, and my ceiling, sure, it can be higher as well. But I would like there to be a smaller gap between my floor and my ceiling. So we're gonna close that gap. All right, new week. New main.
Oh no, he did it.
SpeedUp Tide H, baby. I played with this a bunch over the past week, and I just like it. I'm a paddle-nizer, so I like to switch paddles and just hit them, then quit them. So, bye-bye CR. Hello, SpeedUp 14. Tide 14H. So
we're back, baby. This is no longer a boring segment. You've changed like 4 episodes
baby.
In a row.
Yeah.
4 episodes in a row you've changed.
Back. We're back, baby. People, bro, somebody asked me about the Volair yesterday. No, 2 days ago. They're like, where's the Volair? I was like, that's old news, bro. I've already gone through 3 paddles since then. Oh, man. But yeah, this paddle's crazy. Feels crazy. Plays crazy. And I don't know why. I just love it. It's
you
fun.
would like it though, because you like the Aerial Cyclone. It's a different, but it has a lot of this similar.
It's easier to play with than the Cyclone. That's for damn sure.
By the way, I like it better than the Cyclone. The Cyclone is
crazy.
I get that a lot of people love it, but that's maybe close to the top of my list of least favorite paddles.
Yeah.
So
Justin,
I can
respect
respect it.
The more crazy feel and power and pop it has, the less Justin wants to play with it.
Because the worse I'll play with it, and
Yeah.
I just feel like it rattles my bones.
Yeah. Them old bones, them old picky
My
bones.
little bones.
All right. Main shoes. Still Diodora, Blue Shield, Torneo 3s. These are very close to being ready to send in for a warranty exchange, which is, I think we're about 3 months in, so not too bad. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just barely starting to get a little cut in between the outsole and starting to see the is it the midsole that's showing through or
Yeah.
But yeah,
maybe that's
love
one
those.
for review also. I need to try those.
I genuinely love those shoes. Love the look of them, love the feel of them. They're just very good shoes. If you're looking for like a slightly maximal shoe, they're legit. So bag, still rocking the Bodie. I think it's called the Pro. What is it called?
The backpack?
The Pro backpack? Yeah, is it
Not
the Pro
the
backpack?
tour bag.
Yeah, not the tour bag. The Pro
But
backpack.
Not the tour bag. The backpack
No.
one.
Yeah. And love that bag. It's just, that was a bag that at first I was like, it's solid. And then you showed me how Bodie puts his shoes in there and just totally changed it for me. I was like, oh, it's pretty elite. And then having the little accessory pod makes it just so easy to pack my cameras to bring to film. So, yep, that's my current mains, and stay tuned next week. Probably will switch. All right.
Let's tag this on. You just said bags. I just want to tag this on because I meant to show it earlier. So 11.624 is new bag. I'm not going to go
Oh
in depth.
yeah, I
because
completely forgot.
I haven't reviewed it, but just to tag this on here in bags.
She cute.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know the price, but I'm pretty sure this is very budget friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through and I like loaded it up and unloaded it. There is a shoe compartment at the bottom. Seems super easy to use. The only thing that's kind of strange is these pockets on the side are great for balls. And I think these are supposed to be the water bottle pockets too, but it's pretty awkward for a water bottle.
Yeah.
It will work, but it's just not like, a lot of water bottle pockets are super easy. Get in and get out, So I think this will work for a water bottle. It will carry stuff. Has an easy quick access right here with like a phone thing. All the stuff you'd expect. And this seems like maybe a TPU coated ripstop, so it's not super heavy. It's pretty
it's actually
like
very
malleable.
light. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very light backpack, and the straps are solid. Anyway, all good, and I don't know the price off the top of my head, but I'm vaguely remembering it that it's like very cost efficient, like under $100, right?
Yeah, I think it's a budget friendly option. I think I remember seeing somebody saying it was around 99. But
yeah, couple colors. I like that cornflower blue.
All right.
Seems solid though.
Before we move to NERDTOWN, let's talk briefly. This is going to be a very hot topic going forward because, speaking of the 11.624, it is only UPA-A approved. It will not be USAP or submitted for USAP approval. So, and the reason behind that is because, obviously, grit texture is measured, and if you exceed a certain threshold, your paddle cannot be approved. And with UPA-A, they do not worry about a certain threshold as long as it maintains below the 2100 RPM on their spin test. And the reason why I want to bring this up is because, to my current knowledge, most tournaments only are allowing USAP approved only, especially APP. You can only play with USAP approved paddles. And the smaller amateur tournaments around the area are globally, if you will, accepting USAP, but I am hearing that there's quite a few people who are also accepting UPA-A approved. Now, what are your thoughts on, Justin, a paddle being only UPA-A approved and how that could affect an amateur? I personally think it doesn't matter. I think that it's only a matter of time before all these amateur events accept UPA-A and USAP, collectively. And I think personally, if it is approved for professional play, it should absolutely be able to be used in amateur play. That's my thoughts. Love to hear yours because I talked very briefly about that on the first impressions video, but wanted to get your insight because you're in depth with the paddle manufacturing and seeing these tests and how they affect real playabilities and the differences between the testing.
Yeah. So I agree with everything you said. I'll say that first. And for the consumer, here's what I'd recommend. If you're someone who doesn't play tournaments, cool. Just if you have either approved paddle, great. That way you're not going to be upsetting people. If you just go out and get like a crazy Diet and Vice or something that has no approval, and then you're playing open plays, people aren't going to like that. But if you have this 11.624, and then no one's going to give you a hard time, you'd be like, dude, it's UPA-A approved. It's the same thing that the pros play with. Cool, you're all good. But if you do play tournaments, a lot of people who play tournaments play like local tournaments, and usually there's a few or a couple or one organizer in their area, depending how big the city is. So what I would recommend for those consumers, if they wanted to try this but they weren't sure, contact those tournament organizers and say, hey, do you allow UPA paddles? I think right now, from what I've seen, and I've heard a couple people who have done this, who've polled their organizers, it's very regional, but it's probably about half or more than half will say either is fine, UPA or USAP. It has to be approved, but either is fine. And it definitely seems that the bigger city that you are in, and especially if it's like a hotbed for pros and money balls, then they're way more likely. Like, for instance, a lot of the biggest cities in Florida, and then Austin, Texas, and Dallas as well, they're like, yeah, UPA is good. Most of the organizers in and around Texas and South Florida say UPA is fine.
Nice.
So I'm with you. I think more local organizers, if we see more paddles go that way, UPA only, then they'll feel the pressure to just say, yes, either approval is fine, USAP or UPA. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, if it's if the UPA testing is stringent enough that the pros can play with the approved paddles, then it's good enough for you to play your 4-0 tournament. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you want to play APP or the US Open, you have no choice. That's going to be USAP only, always. That's just how it's going to be because they're tied together. Then let's also say that USAP has been talking about their upcoming testing. They are changing their testing, but it's USAP, so don't expect it to be quick. Don't expect it to be thorough. Don't expect it to be easy rollout, from what we've seen in the past. Hopefully they prove us all wrong, okay? But I've kind of given up the benefit of the doubt a little bit because I did it a lot and they, never made me look good. So, but they are going to go to an RPM test. They've been talking about that for over a year at this point. And there are going to be some additional testing methods that they're going to roll out. So maybe in a year from now, this is a non-issue, right? But right now, you asked my take on this, from the inside, I can say with 100% certainty that I trust UPA's testing a lot more. Not only their testing, but their follow-through and their accountability. Like we talked about earlier, if you listen to that part about the 11.624, there are real penalties for brands for testing one and then making paddles different. Like if they make a paddle that tests differently after the submission, there are fines and things can be pulled from the approval list. However, USAP, they're supposed to be doing this compliance testing for always. It's always been in there where they say, oh, we'll go secret shop and buy your paddle and then test it compared to the one we approved to make sure everything's fine. And if it's not, then you get on the under investigation list, which we see the 6-0 Ruby Pro is on right now. Even though that's supposed to have been happening, I'm not convinced that it's been happening because it's very obvious to anyone who's paying attention.
Dude, I played a tournament the other day, and someone had a paddle. I won't name names to, but the grit felt so different than the model that I received for review. Like it was clearly a completely different peel ply that was used for it. Yes, I don't think there is much, if any, compliance testing that they're doing.
So because of the accountability hasn't been reliable, we'll say that, USAP stamp carries less weight than a UPA-A stamp, to my mind, because I can look at a paddle or feel the crazy grit or hear it or whatever and be like, yeah, I mean, I see the approved stamp on it, but is that what the company actually submitted? Because it's, once you know what legal grit feels like, it's very obvious. When, like for the RZRT. So all that to say is, I'm not saying that UPA-A is doing everything perfect or that I love the structure of the fact that they are still currently under the same umbrella as the companies who own Pro Play and all that, and they're not a nonprofit yet. I get that it's all problematic because the reason why is if you want to become an Olympic sport, you have to have a nonprofit governing body. Right. And right now with this situation where we have split fraction, governing bodies, and one's a nonprofit, one's not, that's not helping pickleball's case for global growth and getting into the Olympics. And, the cautionary tale here is racquetball. Look at racquetball. It got super, split, fraction, multiple governing bodies, multiple different tournaments, different legalities, and then it didn't grow, not saying it would have otherwise, but it never grew into a global sport, so it didn't have longevity. And, none of us want that to happen for pickleball. I don't know. It's a developing situation. I will say the more and more I see about USAP, the less and less confident I feel. The more and more I see about UPA's testing, the more and more confident I feel. So it's like they've gone the opposite direction. I started giving the benefit of the doubt the USAP and really doubting UPA.
Roles have completely reversed.
Yeah, they've lost my trust, and UPA has gained more of my trust. I'm just talking about testing.
Yes. So this is a topic for another day. We'll talk about it if you guys are interested. But I also think that UPA's, the way that they do their testing, it actually allows for more
Innovation.
more development and innovation in
Yeah.
the paddle market, which obviously as a reviewer, I'm all here for, but more importantly, as a sport, I think having the ability to use different materials, different ways, and only need to meet certain thresholds rather than, RZRT, blah, 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 whatever materials that have to be used. I think that benefits also the sport and the consumers because they can then create better overall products that are also more durable or last longer or, are more budget conscious, whatever the reasoning is. I think it does lead for a more innovative market. So if you guys want to hear more about that, Justin probably has a ton of thoughts on that we can talk about in the future. So ready to move to NERDTOWN?
Yeah, this is going to be quick. Not
Let's
your typical NERDTOWN. This is a NERDTOWN for the viewers. So this is going to be, you get a participation award here. So John Q was the first one I saw to make what I called the feel wheel, which you guys have probably seen if you've looked at any of his content. John's
always cooking up something, bro.
Oh yeah, John's on top of it. He's a super analytical thinker and just a great reviewer. So
just like me, dude. Very analytical, very data driven.
Well, he has this if you've seen it, it's like a crosshair and a circles, and then from left to right, I'm pretty sure it goes from dense to hollow, and then from top to bottom, it's like stiff to soft.
Plush.
And
Soft, yeah.
Yeah, and these is about the feel of a paddle, the perceived, subjective feel of the ball contact on the paddle. Does it feel dense? Does it feel hollow? Does it feel stiff? Does it feel soft? And then those two are kind of both spectrums, and when you cross the line, then you can put a dot for each paddle, kind of in this circle, and then say, feels like this. Anyway, since John has done that, I feel like every reviewer who I've seen since he started that is now either straight up copying, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's not like it's crazy to think of these comparisons, or doing their version of it, because honestly, it is a great way to describe the feel of a paddle and compare them. So now that everyone's doing it, this dense versus hollow, stiff versus soft, and the dense versus hollow thing is a lot more relevant now that we're in foam paddles, because with honeycomb, it was the dense versus hollow was not really a big difference ever, because it's all the same. But now there's big differences when the paddles feel very dense or very hollow.
Oh, yeah. It was the PPE was the first paddle where it's this feels way different.
Oh, and yeah. Gearboxes have always felt.
Yeah, then it's
gearboxes
more
are
and more
unique,
started
but
being
most
developed.
paddles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious. This is where the participation award comes in, or participation grade. I want you guys to comment, because I'm actually curious what is the most popular preference for feel. Because I personally, I'll tell you mine.
Justin's just doing market research, baby.
Pretty much, yeah. Honestly, I much prefer dense paddles to hollow paddles. Much prefer. It's a very big difference. So put me all the way on the dense end. Now with stiff and soft, I can go either way depending on the other playability profiles of the paddle. I don't mind dense and stiff paddles if they play well. I don't mind dense and soft paddles. That's like plush, right? Dense and soft is like plush. I don't mind that type of paddle either, as long as it plays well. So I'm not actually that picky on stiff versus soft. So we'll just put me in the middle there. But yeah, I'm curious, because when you look at the mains, Speak Pickleball, shout out. He does the, mains for all the reviewers every month. If you look at them, a lot of those are way towards the hollow end, and in my estimation, way towards the hollow end is Boomstick, super hollow. Some even in the Gen 3s feel super hollow.
Even the Draco
all these
is a little
MPP
hollow.
paddles. The Draco's a little bit hollow. This 11624 felt a little bit hollow to me. Anyway, so it seems that most of the preferences lean hollow, and a lot of people love these, Aereo Cyclone, the Inferno, super hollow, the Les Inferno, all these MPP paddles. So yeah, I'm curious. Comment your preferences. What do you like, as far as stiff versus soft, dense versus hollow? And then I kind of want to take a little poll and see, just for our viewers. What's your preference, by the way?
Before I say my preference, I do think there is something to say that these are becoming popular because they're newer and unique and slightly trendy. We do see trends in how paddles are constructed, but also in how the market perceives these different nuances and feels. So for a long time there, it was like, what's the plushest feeling paddle that people really liked? Like people loved the J2s, the Rubies, the I'm trying to think of some other ones.
Yeah,
but
now we're towards these stiff hollow paddles. That's not plush
now
at all.
Paddle Tech and Flare Prime X, like those were like two of like the first paddles, and then the Yola Gen 3s obviously were the first paddles to like start moving people away from these plush soft paddles. But anyway, I digress. But that just might be, in my opinion, why we're seeing a trend go towards stiff hollow. Mine is, I could do really anything, honestly, but I would rather have stiffer and slightly more hollow than dense plush. I can play with a dense plush paddle. It just takes me a little bit of time to get used to, but I definitely prefer the feedback and response that you get from a slightly stiffer, slightly hollower paddle. So maybe that's just because I'm a reviewer and get to use everything. But I know, you used to be stiff. You used to be all stiff, boy. 14 millimeter.
Yeah, I think I still probably lean stiff over soft, but I'm very heavy on dense over hollow. Like I just do not connect with hollow feeling paddles. I don't love it at all.
For me, it's the reset.
Like specifically
for whatever
touch
reason.
Shot. Yeah, I'm the same way. By the way, the resets on hollow paddles, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
and
I feel like I don't have to do as much.
Fiberglass also like contributes to more of a hollow feel. To me, hollow paddles just feel kind of numb. They can be great performing, but the feel of the vibration, because this is all about vibration frequency, obviously. But the same thing that hollow does is the same thing that fiberglass does for me. It's like it just makes all vibrations one frequency into my hand. No matter where you hit it on the paddle, no matter how fast or hard you hit it, I'm like, well, if every shot feels the same, people are like, it all feels the same. Huge sweet spot. I'm like, I actually hate that. I want it to feel different if I miss hit or if it's a soft shot, if it's a hard shot. Give me more information,
Yeah.
That's
that's a really good point, and something that I don't think really anybody talks about. But with these hollow or stiffer paddles, the feedback is far more similar across the face.
Yes, I agree.
You the way that this spot feels compared to this spot is very similar. Whereas with a plush paddle, a direct center versus a kind of off center is pretty different. You feel the feedback more, whereas with a hollow or stiffer paddle, you feel the feedback regardless of if you hit the sweet spot.
There's a word for this. This is NERDTOWN after all. Proprioception. There you go. Proprioception. Wow. There's a new word for you.
Use it in a sentence.
It has when you are able to get feel and feedback from different experiences, you have more proprioception, which allows your body to understand and correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know this. You were like you went to college to be like a physical trainer and stuff, so you know proprioception. Yeah. It's a big part of like if you have an injury and you have to do recovery, say you break your ankle or something, sometimes that damages nerves or things like that, and a big part of getting back to normal and feeling good on your foot is building not only strength but proprioception, so you can feel exactly what your foot's doing and where it is. And there's like a lot of information about how proprioception in your feet prevents injury, because if you can feel when your feet are in compromised positions, then your body knows to like take a little bit of weight off. But if you have bad proprioception, that's how you roll your ankles and things like that. Yeah. Because you can't feel, and then you overload the outside of your foot, and then your ankle's blown. So anyway, I want a little bit of proprioception in my paddle.
A very interesting off-topic tangent. I'll let you finish this, but then I'll touch on that.
That's it.
After.
Let's go.
Yeah. So one thing that I did also learn whenever I was in college was the effects of mental, like practicing something in your mind. Like literally, it could be a type of shot. It could be a type of like movement pattern. Yeah, literally visualizing a shot that you're trying to hit is actually tested and proven that it can improve and make your development as a player and whatever skill you're trying to improve faster. Like it truly can. So if you are busy and you can't drill this week, think about the shot that you're working on and literally visualize it. Think from head to toe exactly what you're going to do, your wrist angle, whatever it is. It actually does help you. Like it truly does. So something that not enough people do. Can really help you. So
Nice.
that's it.
My camera's dying. Let's get out of here.
Yep. All right. Episode 66 of the PP Podcast. We're out. We've been here for like an hour and 40 minutes. I hope you guys enjoy this. We will see you episode 67. It's getting dangerously close to 69. We got some stuff for you. Be on the lookout. Peace.